betul. Good. Good.
Jai Prabhu ji, Jai.
Thank you.
Sure, this is fine with one of these legs, otherwise it'll fall.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Chandra Vallabha Girivanadhari Gopi Chandra Vallabha Girivanadhari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Chandra Vallabha Girivanadhari Gopi Chandra Vallabha Girivanadhari Yashodanandana Rajadana Ranjana Yashodanandana Rajadana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Mana Chari Yamuna Tira Mana Chari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Gopi Janavallabha Girivanadhari Gopi Janavallabha Girivanadhari Yashodanandana Brajajanarandana Yashodanandana Brajajanarandana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Jaya Prabhupada 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 Jaya Prabhupada 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada Go. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya So, this morning we're reading from the Srimad-bhagavatam Canto 10, Chapter 1, Text 5, 6, and 7. And we'll just read 5 together. You're used to this computer. Pitamaha me samare Moranjayar Devarithayatirthais Timingalai Duratyam Kaurava Sainya Sagaram Kridhataran Vatsa Param Sma Yatklava Pitamahame Samare Manandayar Devavathadyan Sritaishtaningalai That's a tongue twister. Duratyayam Kaurava Sainya Sagaram Vidhataran Vatsa Padam Svajat Namaha Pitamahame Samare Naranjayar Devavathadyan Sritaishtaningalai Duratyayam Kaurava Sainya Sagaram Kridhataran Vatsa Padam Svajat Namaha Pitamahame Samare Naranjayar Devavathadyan Sritaishtaningalai Duratyayam Kaurava Sainya Sagaram Vidhataram Vatsa Param Svajat Pitamahame Samare Naranjayar Devavathadyan Sritaishtaningalai Duratyayam Kaurava Sainya Sagaram Vidhataram Vatsa Padam Svajat Namaha Pitamahame Samare Naranjayar Devavathadyan Sritaishtaningalai Duratyayam Kaurava Sainya Sagaram Vidhataram Vatsa Param Svajat Namaha Mataji. Pitamahame Samare Naranjayar Devavathadyan Sritaishtaningalai Duratyayam Kaurava Sainya Sagaram Vidhataram Vatsa Param Svajat Namaha Janyasya viprustam idam vadangam sandhanam vitam purapandabhanam Yugopakuksing gata atta chakro matuscha meya saranam gataya Viryani tasya akila bhajam antarbihi purusha kala rupaya Rayo chato mrityum uthamratam cha maya manusyasya vadasvidam. Okay, this is a long word for word here. I think we just go right to the translation. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Taking the boat of Krishna's lotus feet, my grandfather, Arjuna. Who's speaking? Cricket Maharaj. Taking the boat of Krishna's lotus feet, my grandfather Arjuna and others crossed the ocean of the battlefield of Kurukshetra, in which such commanders as Bhishmadev resembled great fish that could very easily have swallowed them. By the mercy of Lord Krishna, my grandfathers crossed this ocean, which was very difficult to cross, as easily as one steps over the hoofprint calf. Because my mother surrendered unto Lord Krishna's lotus feet, the Lord, Sudarshan Chakra in hand, entered her womb and saved my body, the body of the last remaining descendant of the Kurus and Pandavas, which is almost destroyed by the fiery weapon of Ashwatthama. Lord Sri Krishna, appearing within and outside of all materially embodied living beings, by his own potency in the forms of eternal time, that is, as Paramatma and as Virat Rupa, gave liberation to everyone, either as cruel death or as life. Kindly enlighten me by describing his transcendental characteristics. Purport. By His Divine Grace, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. As stated in the Srimad-bhagavatam 10:14-58. Jai Shri Shri Radha Vraja Bihari Shri Shri Purani Jai Jai Samasna Ye Padapalava Plavam Mahaparam Punya Somarare Bhavam Bhadir Vatsa Param 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 Yadvi Param Nate Sam. For one who has accepted the boat of the lotus feet of the Lord, who is the shelter of the cosmic manifestation, and is famous as Murari, or the enemy of the Mora demon, the ocean of the material world is like the water contained in a cast footprint. His goal is Param Param, or Vaikuntha, the place where there are no material miseries, not the place where there is danger at every step. One who seeks shelter at the lotus feet of Lord Krishna is immediately protected by the Lord, as the Lord promises in the Bhagavad Gita, 1866. Aham dvam sarvapapajyo mokshasyami masucha. I shall deliver you from all sinful reactions. Do not fear. By taking shelter of Lord Krishna, one comes under the safest protection. Thus, when the Pandavas took shelter at the lotus feet of Krishna, all of them were on the safe side of the battle Kurukshetra. Parikshit Maharaj therefore felt obliged to think of Krishna in the last days of his life. This is the ideal result of Krishna consciousness. Ante Narayana Smriti. If at the time of death one can remember Krishna, one's life is successful. Parikshit Maharaj, therefore, because of his many obligations to Krishna, intelligently decided to think of Krishna constantly during the last days of his life. Krishna had saved the Pandavas Maharaj Parikshit's grandfathers on the battlefield of Kurukshetra, and Krishna had saved Maharaj Parikshit himself when he was attacked by the Brahmastra of Ashwatthama. Krishna acted as the friend and worshipful deity of the Pandava family. Moreover, apart from Lord Krishna's personal contact with the Pandavas, Krishna is the supersoul of all living entities, and he gives everyone liberation, even if one is not a pure devotee. Kamsa, for example, was not at all a devotee, yet Krishna, after killing him, gave him salvation. Who was the demon that imitated Krishna in Dwarka? And he challenged Krishna to a fight. Anybody remember? He had 4 arms. Huh? Poundraka. He challenged Krishna. He said, "I'm the real Vasudeva. You're an imposter." And he challenged Krishna. You should give up your symbols, the conch shell and club and disc, lotus flute. You should give all this up and give it back to me. You're an imposter. So he challenged Krishna. So they went to battle, and he had 4 arms. Must have been something like paper mache or something. It must have looked pretty ridiculous, imitating Krishna, right? So Krishna, he gave him one of his symbols, which was the disc, cut off his head. But he got liberation, just like we're hearing. He went to Vaikuntha with 4 arms, because he was so absorbed in Vishnu and Vasudeva that Krishna's so kind. All right, you want to be like me? All right. He went to Vaikuntha, 4 arms. Pandra. Krishna's so kind. Krishna consciousness is beneficial to everyone, whether one is a pure devotee or a non-devotee. This is the glory of Krishna consciousness. Considering this, who will not take shelter at the lotus feet of Krishna? There's another verse, a whole book of young, it's in the Kala, that who will not take shelter of someone so merciful as Krishna? Because Krishna, he's so kind that Putana also came to kill Krishna. And she, come up front, you're too far back, come on up. So Putana came to kill Krishna. And how did she come? She came very beautiful. She came with a motherly mood. She came and she suckled Krishna. He suckled her breast, and so she came like a mother. But there was poison at the same time. She was trying to kill him. But Krishna is Bhavagrahi Janardan. Bhavagrahi Janardan means that Krishna, he accepts the essence. So she came to him like a mother, and at the same time she was trying to kill him. But because she came like a mother, in her next life she became a nurse in Vrindavan, in Goloka Vrindavan. Just see how kind Krishna is. So what to speak of ourselves? We're praying and we're trying to serve Krishna so hard, trying to, become free of the modes of nature and serve Krishna nicely. So how much more we will get the mercy of Krishna? But anybody know who Putana was in her previous life? She was the sister of Bali. So when Vamana came, she saw Vamana and she said, "What a beautiful boy. I would love to be the mother of such a beautiful boy." Because he came like a little child, a dwarf. But then, after Vamana took everything away from Bali, her brother, she said, I want to kill this kid. So she had different emotions about Vamana. So because she had those desires to be the mother and also to kill him, she became Putana. But Krishna is so kind that next life she became like a mother, nurse. Continuing the purport. Almost finished. Considering this, who will not take shelter at the lotus feet of Krishna? Krishna is described in this verse as Maya Manusya, because he descends exactly like a human being. He is not obliged to come here like karmis or ordinary living beings. Rather, he appears by his own internal energy, just to show favor to the following conditions. So Prabhupada gives the example also that sometimes a prime minister or president will go to a prison and try to speak some good sense into them. So the president or the prime, he's in the prison, but he's not a prisoner. He goes there to try to help. He's not in there like the prisoners. So Krishna also, he comes and he sends his devotees here. So it's not that they're prisoners. They're free, but they come to help us become free. So this is the mercy of Krishna and his devotees. Krishna is always situated in his original position as Satchit Ananda Vigraha. And anyone who renders service to him is also situated in his original spiritual identity. Swarupena Vivasati. This is the highest perfection of human life. Srila Prabhupada ki Aham Jnanatimanandasya Gyananjana Salakaya Chakshurumulitam Jena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha Mukam Krutva Chalan Pangam Langhai Tegri Yat Kripa Taraham Vande Sri Gurum Dinadharma Vanchakapachibhyascha Kripa Sindhu Devacha Patitanam Pavanena Vaishnavebhyo Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasudeva Gaura Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So this verse that Prabhupada quotes in the beginning of this book is another very famous verse. Samasrataya Padapalavam Mahaparam Punyasawari Vambudir Vatsa Param 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 Yadmi Param Natesam. For when he was accepted the boat at the lotus feet of the Lord, it was a shelter of the cosmic manifestation, and as famous as Marari, or the enemy of the Mora demon, the ocean of the material world was like the water contained in a cask footprint. Very easy to cross over. Like the cask footprint is so small, just easily step over. But the ocean of materials existence is so big. But Krishna, out of his kindness, he makes it very easy to cross. And that is simply by thinking of Krishna. Just like the best way to think of Krishna is by just chanting, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. That usually wakes people up a little bit. So, there's the 10 offenses we chant every morning, but there's the 10 defenses. Bhaktivinoda Thakur says there's 10 defenses. I haven't memorized them all, but the first one is, the first offense is to blaspheme the devotees who have dedicated their lives to the propagation of the holy name. So the defense is, instead of blaspheming, is serving the devotees. That's a defense to this offense. Serving the devotees. If we serve the devotees, Krishna is very pleased. Actually, we can't go directly to Krishna. We have to go through the devotee. We try to go directly to Krishna, he doesn't accept. We have to go through the devotee. Therefore, it is said that Krishna says, I am not in the hearts of the yogis, nor I am in Vaikuntha, but I am wherever my devotees are spreading my glories. This is where Krishna is. And therefore Prabhupada mentioned that if you want to please me, distribute books. Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur said that if you get money, print books. And Krishna says, Yaidang Padamanguyam. Anyone who was explaining this very valuable secret, this great secret of the Bhagavad Gita, is very dear to me. There'll never be anyone more dear to me. So this knowledge is very valuable. And Krishna, he wants it given to everybody. He wants everybody to benefit. This is the kindness of Krishna. He doesn't like to see his parts and parcels suffering so much. He wants to see them happy. Just like a father, he wants to see his children happy. So Krishna, he wants to see everybody happy. And therefore he comes and tries to help us become happy. Although sometimes we're a little stubborn. Just like rebellious children. Sometimes children rebel. So we also rebelled. Krishna is our Supreme Father, and we rebelled. We came trying to be the enjoyer, trying to be the proprietor. Like Pondraka a little bit, without the extra arms. But we also tried to be Krishna. But now we've woken up. We can't be Krishna. We can't be the Supreme Enjoyer. We can't be the Supreme Proprietor. We're not the friend of everyone. This is Krishna. This is the position of Krishna. And the more we hear and chant and follow these instructions, the more we'll get this experience. There was one devotee who used to come here back in the 80s. Dharma knows him very well. Dr. Choksi. What was his initiated name? Do you remember? Dr. Choksi. Huh? Patita Pavana? Patita Pavana. He is a doctor. Very nice devotee. Him and his wife, they would come here often and do service. But at one point, she got cancer. And us devotees from the temple, we would go and we would do bhajan, try to encourage her in her Krishna consciousness, going through this very intense ordeal. So we were going there for a few weeks, and then we were there one night, and Hare Krishna. We were chanting Hare Krishna, and we saw that night it looked like she's going to pass away. But we had to get back because we had to get up early. So that night she passed away. But before she passed away, she said to her husband, "Do you see him?" And she said, "Do I see who?" "Krishna. He's standing right in front of me, and he's calling me. Should I go? You're my husband, should I go?" Yeah, go. So she closed her eyes, and shortly after, she left the body and went back home. So the process works. So many devotees now, they're going to Vrindavan. They're getting elderly. It's like Padre Narayan Maharaj, recently he passed away in Vrindavan. So many devotees are leaving their body in Vrindavan and Mayapur. That means they're going back home. Going back to the spiritual world. So this process is working. And Prabhupada gives the example. If a rich man's son, let's say a rich man has a son, all the son has to do is stay alive. All he has to do is stay alive, and he inherits all the wealth of his wealthy father. So all we have to do also is stay alive in Krishna consciousness. Chant our 16 rounds, follow the 4 right principles. But it's not just chanting our 16 rounds. As Dharma said this morning, it has to be done sincerely. If we're chanting inattentive japa, if we're offensive japa, then we're not going to get the desired result. It has to be done sincerely. I think the worst japa I ever saw was one person, he was chanting japa while he was playing soccer, football, trying to chant his japa. How is that possible? It's just impossible. Another person, I saw a devotee, he was watching a movie in his apartment, chanting japa. I said, Prabhu, you can't chant japa and watch a movie, come on. He said, Vijay, that's the only way I can chant my japa. Sorry. That's it. So offensive. So offensive. So to chant sincere japa, that's a big challenge. We have to pray to Krishna for this sincerity that we could chant sincere japa. And this is the key. This is the key that opens the door to the spiritual world, along with service. There's a nice verse in the Bhagavatam. Mahat sevam dwaram mahorvimuktes tamo dwaram yositam sangi sangam mahantaste samachita prasanta manyava sura sadhavote. That by service to devotees, the door to the spiritual world is open. Service to devotees. This is very pleasing to Krishna. Very pleasing to Krishna. And he goes on to say in this verse, Mahat sevam dwaram ahorvam is tamo dwaram yositam sangisam. But if we associate with materialistic people, then the door to the hellish planets is open. So better serve the devotees. And what is the qualities? Mahat sevam dwaram ahor tamo dwaram yositam sangisam. Mahantaste samachita. He sees everyone equally. He sees everybody as a soul. And therefore it's stated, Vidya vinyasam pane brahmane gavihasani suni chaiva sapake cha pandita samadarshana. There's a nice pastime of Prabhupada. Prabhupada's in Africa, and the devotees had just gone to Africa, but there's a lot of Indians in Africa. So the devotees were only preaching to the Indians. But Prabhupada said, no. Preach to the locals, to the Africans. And they said, Prabhupada, I don't think they're very interested. Prabhupada said, no. Open the doors. Open the doors for the Africans. And they did that. And then they went to a program that night, and it was packed with the Africans. Prabhupada didn't see the skin. See, there's a skin disease. Skin disease. Black, brown, Spanish, Chinese, American, European, Indian. This is called skin disease. We're not this skin. We're not this body. We're the soul within. So the pure devotee, such as Prabhupada, he saw that. There's one instance also where Prabhupada was in Chicago, and devotees were cultivating this one person. He was very overweight. He weighed about 350 pounds. Huge. So one devotee said to Prabhupada, pretty big boy, eh, Prabhupada? And Prabhupada said, he's no bigger than you are. You're both spirit soul. You can't weigh the spirit soul. So he's no heavier than you are. So this is the pure devotee. He sees the soul. He doesn't see the body. And therefore, there's so much success. So much success was there in Srila Prabhupada. And just to realize that we're the soul within, that's not an easy thing. You have to get the mercy of Krishna. To understand that, we have to have the mercy of Krishna. What to speak of attaining love for Krishna. So to understand, I mean, some of us have heard that we're not the body, I don't know, thousands of times. But still, it's difficult to understand that we're not the body. Because of conditioning. We've been conditioned for who knows how many lifetimes. And in this lifetime, we're conditioned. So now we're trying to get conditioned to the reality that we're the soul. within. Everybody is a soul. Another nice pastime of Prabhupada. He was in Hawaii, and he was there with his servant in his quarters, and Hawaii is like here, it's tropical. A lot of different types of insects and bugs, and there was one of these very unusual bugs in Prabhupada's room. So the devotee said, Prabhupada, look at this bug, the most unusual looking bug I've ever seen. So Prabhupada came over and he's looking at it and he said, yeah, no, very unusual. Now chant to the poor thing. Chant to the poor thing. Because Prabhupada didn't see it as a bug, he saw it as a soul within a bug body. Unfortunate soul to be in some bug body. So Prabhupada saw the soul because he's a pure soul. And this is natural. To be a pure soul is our natural position. Just like people in prison now. There's about 2 million prisoners in America right now. I don't know how many millions there are in the world. But just in America, there's 2 million. So it's unnatural to be in prison. Therefore, they want to be free. So it's unnatural to be a conditioned soul. Therefore, we're trying to get free of this the lower consciousness and try to rise to our natural consciousness, which is we're the eternal servants of Krishna. So this verse says, one who has accepted the boat, we have to accept the boat of the lotus feet of Krishna. And also there's a nice verse in the Bhagavatam that says that this material body is like a boat for crossing over the ocean of material existence. And there's the captain of the boat. The captain of the boat is the spiritual master. And there's favorable winds. Now this example is given back thousands of years ago when they didn't have engines. Now they have these huge, huge ships, but it's run by engines. Back then, they depended on wind thousands of years ago. So the wind is compared to the Vedic literatures. By hearing again and again the Srimad-bhagavatam, then this helps us. This is the wind that helps us cross over the ocean of material existence. And yeah, this human form of life is actually a great benediction. It's a great benediction to the soul, because only in the human form of life do we have the intelligence by which we can question, why am I here? What's the goal of life? What happens at the time of death? Only in the human form of life. In other forms, no. But there are examples of living entities in other forms that got liberated. Would you like to hear one? There's a story in the Chaitanya Charitamrita of a devotee who would take care of all the devotees when they go down to Jagannath Puri from Navadvip. So there's about 200 devotees that would go from Navadvip to Jagannath Puri every year. And it's a long ways. There was no trains, there was no planes, they walked. So Krishna, he's the source of all remembrance and forgetfulness, and I can't remember the devotee's name now. Anybody remember his name? That would help the devotees? He was in charge? Huh? Sivananda Saint, thank you. Sivananda Saint, he was in charge of these devotees. So, as they were going down to Jagannath Puri, a regular, ordinary street dog joined the party. Somehow, he became attracted. And Sivananda Saint was so transcendental, so self-realized, that he accepted the dog in the party. So much so that he would feed the dog, he would give the dog water, he would take care of the dog. And at one point they had to cross a river. And the person in charge of the boat wouldn't let the dog on, because it's a dog. So Sivananda said, well, what if I give you more money? What if I give you more money? He said, all right, if you give more money, I'll take it. So the dog is on the boat, and he goes across. Just see how merciful a devotee is. So merciful, even to dogs. And India, street dogs, like when street dogs come around, like, get away, get away. But he was so kind, so self-realized. He didn't see it as a dog. He saw it as a soul in a dog body. So they're going along. They crossed the river, and he had to pay some tax at some point. So it took a little time. So he told the devotees, make sure you feed the dog. I'm going to take care of this tax. And so then he got back, and the dog was gone. The dog was gone. So he said, did you feed him? No one said anything. So the dog didn't get fed, so he left. So Sivananda is saying, he got 10 devotees to go look for the dog. You see, it's amazing. Amazing compassion. That he's part of our party. He's gone. We got to find him. 10 devotees went out looking for him. They came back. Didn't find him. So Sivananda said he felt a little bad. He wasn't able to take care of this dog that joined the party. So then they got to Jagannath Puri. They all arrived there, and everybody's so happy. Now they get the darshan of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. When Sivananda Sain got to Lord Chaitanya's room, the dog was there. How did the dog know where Lord Chaitanya is? How is that possible? And he's in the room with Lord Chaitanya. And Lord Chaitanya, he's throwing prasad to him, coconut pole, and the dog's catching it. And Lord Chaitanya says, chant Hare Krishna to the dog. And the dog starts chanting, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare. He probably didn't chant it as clearly as that, but as his dog got it. But then Sivananda is saying he paid dandavats to the dog because he was afraid he may have committed some offense. Just see the humility, the self-realization of this great devotee, Sivananda Sain. So then, the next day, Sivananda Sain went to the quarters of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And devotees were asking about the dog. And it was found out that the dog had left his body and gone back to God. Just see. The dog went back to the spiritual world. Why? Because of the mercy of a devotee. Because of the mercy of a devotee. Serving the devotees is so important. And there's another amazing example of Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya was a great devotee. He was actually the main Mayavadi in India. But Lord Chaitanya mercifully went there and turned him into a wonderful devotee. So Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, he invited Lord Chaitanya to his home to take prasad. But he had one son-in-law who was a big rascal, huge rascal. His name was Amoga. And he was such a big rascal. I don't know how he got this reputation, but he was such a big rascal that Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, he was at the door of his house with a stick, just in case Amoga came. And he would beat him if he criticized. I mean, can you imagine? I don't know what he possibly could have done to have such a bad reputation. But he had that bad reputation. So Lord Chaitanya came, and his wife is serving out prasadam, and he's at the door doing guard duty, keeping Amoga away. But then he saw that his wife needed some help. So he went and helped her. He became a little inattentive in his guard duty. So he went to help serve out prasad to Lord Chaitanya. So while he was serving out with his wife, Amoga comes to the door. He peeks in the door and he says, "What is this? What is this? This is enough food for 12 devotees. What is this? What kind of a sannyasi is this?" And as soon as Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya heard that, he looked at Amoga, and if someone's vision could burn someone, he would have been burnt to the ground. So Amoga saw that, he went running. So then, Lord Chaitanya, or Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, he went to get the stick to chase him and beat him. But he was elderly, so he couldn't catch him. So Amoga got away. But Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya and his wife felt so bad because Lord Chaitanya, the Supreme Lord, came to their home and he was insulted. They felt so bad. She was beating her chest, saying, "May my daughter become a widow." They both wanted him to just die. Can you imagine God comes to your house and he's insulted? It's terrible. So, but Lord Chaitanya said, "Don't take it so seriously, not a big deal. He's right, I shouldn't eat so much. I'm a sannyasi. Don't take it so serious, okay." But then, Lord Chaitanya, he went back to his quarters. The next day, Gopinath Acharya, his brother-in-law, who was the brother of Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya's sister, he went to see Lord Chaitanya. So Lord Chaitanya, he asked Gopinath Acharya, "So, how is Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya and his wife doing?" And he said, "They're still fasting. They haven't eaten since that incident. They're so hurt by that incident." And Lord Chaitanya said, "Oh, why are they taking this so serious? It's not a big deal." And then he said, "And Amoga? How is Amoga?" He said, "Amoga is dying of cholera." You see the offense? Immediately he got a reaction. So Lord Chaitanya said, "Take me to him immediately." So hastily they went to where Amoga was. He's laying on his deathbed, practically dead. So when Lord Chaitanya got there, he put his hand on the heart, on the chest of Amoga, and said, "Amoga, you're born into a very nice Brahmin family. The heart of a Brahmin is very clean, making it a nice place for Krishna to sit. Why have you allowed this envy, this chandala of envy, to sit there, making it not a nice place? However, because you are the the son-in-law of Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, all your offenses are washed away, your heart is clean, and when the heart is clean, naturally one chants, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare." So Lord Chaitanya took his hand off his chest, and Amoga jumped out of his deathbed, and he's chanting, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. And he's dancing. He's dancing. He just jumped out of his deathbed, practically dead. He's dancing, and he's shivering. His hairs are standing on end. He's in ecstasy. And what is Lord Chaitanya doing? He's laughing. He's laughing to see the mercy. And Gopinath Acharya also, he's laughing because he was such a rascal. He was such a rascal. But Lord Chaitanya is so merciful. So he became a great devotee. And what happened was, after he was dancing and chanting for a long time, he paid obeisances and he begged Lord Chaitanya, please forgive me for offending you. This mouth has blasphemed you. So then he sat up and he's hitting his face. He's slapping his face very hard, not soft like this, but he's hitting it very hard. So much so that his face became swollen. So Gopinath Acharya, he had to stop him from hitting his face. While he was slapping, he said, this mouth has blasphemed the Supreme Lord. So he became a great devotee of Lord Chaitanya. This is the mercy of a devotee. Just because he was the son-in-law of Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, he got the mercy. Amazing. So if we continue chanting and hearing, trying sincerely to be pure servants of Krishna, Krishna will help us. And we will also get the mercy of Krishna. On that note, is there any question or comment or correction? Thank you very much. Srila Prabhupada ki. You remember Subhadra Pranama?
No. But I can find out. Sorry. Do you remember it?
I still don't remember. Krishna.